Good morning to you. It is Saturday, November 26th at 1:48 a.m. I'm doing a lot better than I was uh, about 24 hours ago, where for some reason my brain was completely scrambled. It's probably because, honestly, I took a little nap around 9:45 because I was fading, dug deep, found the stuff to keep going, and I got to watch Purdue easily handle Gonzaga and improve to 5-0 on the season. I'm going to talk about that and this dream weekend that might be unfolding in front of us here in a moment. But first, before I do it, let me thank Martin Vintage. Head over to martinvintage.com right now. Get a soft t-shirt, get a sweatshirt. Right now, they have a special deal. I believe it's a Black Friday deal. Sweatshirts are marked down, I think 10 or 15 bucks. I'm not positive. But head over. If you don't, go to their Twitter feed first. Check that out. Also, enter Boiled at checkout, and you'll get 15% off. That's martinvintage.com. If you get some Christmas shopping done for the person you care about most, they can look like a niche in a beautiful, cozy Martin Vintage sweatshirt. And when you're on campus, go over to AJ's on Vine. Grab a pint. Grab some funnel cake fries. Grab the macaroni and cheese bites that I love so much. Watch a game. Have some beer. Enjoy your time there. Take it easy. Adam and Company will treat you right. Before you go there, go to eatajs.com. Order ahead. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And you're going to have yourself an afternoon or an evening, however, whatever it is. Eatajs.com. They're our pals. So here's the dream scenario. The dream scenario is Purdue goes 3-0 in one long weekend in basketball, goes 1-0 in football, and then earns a share, an improbable, actually, they'll earn a chance to play in Indianapolis as a representative of the West Division of the Big Ten Football Conference. That's a weekend, my friends. That's magic stuff. That's golden stuff. And it's kind of unfolding in front of us. And the sweeter part, when I make up my dream scenario, this delicious dish that seems to be forming. I talked about this on the Handsome Hour, the possibility of this 2 weeks ago. Purdue beating Gonzaga and Duke, the two biggest media darlings for ESPN in basketball. I think you will struggle to find two teams that ESPN loves more. And you'll really struggle hard to find a team that unrightfully receives praise as much as Gonzaga. I have disdained Gonzaga for a long time. So every time Purdue beats them, which has happened quite a few times, it's like Christmas morning to me. There are very few things I enjoy this much. But the way they beat Gonzaga today and the situation around it, let's look at this, shall we? Let me remind you, if you don't tune into our lovely QuickCast, if you don't come to Boiled Sports very often, if you're not a Purdue fan, you're just a casual college basketball fan, you probably believe the bullcrap that ESPN tells you, that Gonzaga is something extremely special. My joke was that Gonzaga, the inventor of college basketball, and Mark Few, the god of college basketball, ESPN couldn't get their heads around that Purdue was even competing with them. Purdue pretty much spotted them about a 10-minute run where Purdue's offense did nothing. Let's keep that in mind. Did nothing. Purdue couldn't do anything right in the beginning. They looked nervous. They looked wound up. They were not playing the game that we all knew they were capable of playing. But then all of a sudden, the game started coming to them. Zach Edey started really battling. And Mason Gillis started getting in the right place. And Fletcher Lawyer starts hitting threes. And Braden Smith starts driving by the Gonzaga superstars with ease. And all of a sudden, Purdue's up 8 points. And then they're up 12 points. And then they're up 20 points toward the end of the game. Sadly, they couldn't hold on to the 20-point victory because they earned it. They earned the shellacking that they gave out for Gonzaga. That's a heck of a performance by Purdue. And this is a Purdue team, let's keep in mind, this is a Purdue team that lost four starters. Four starters last year. This is a rebuild year, according to many people. This is a hell of a rebuild year. This team is fun to watch. This team is fun to get behind. They work harder than about anybody I've ever seen. They go floor burns are not a thing that they shy away from. They crash the glass incredibly hard. Their effort is unbelievable and relentless. And like they did versus West Virginia, who is a high effort team, a high energy team, a tough team, but like they did versus them, as Gonzaga started to flex at them and tried to shorten the game and tried to throw different looks at them and tried to stop the things that were working, Purdue calmly handled it. They handled the rush. They pushed it away. They hit a couple free throws, and then another role player stepped up. Tonight, we saw him perform big last night with his 9 assists or 6 assists, whatever Morton had. Tonight, Ethan Morton just starts stealing the ball. Every time Gonzaga tried to come up the court for about 2-3 possessions, Morton would just step in the passing lane, stop their possession early in it, and then Purdue would go up and take their time, calmly wait for the double or triple team. And by the way, Matt Painter had figured something out with Gonzaga. He knew that not only would a double and a triple team come if Zach Edey waited long enough. He intentionally had Zach wait in the post, pump fake 1, 2, 3 times. At that third time, there was a guy open in the corner, and Edey found him almost every time. And then Purdue hit those threes. Almost like you drew it up. Purdue started off very cold, but as the game went on, they got better and better. And this Purdue team looks pretty special right now. Oh boy, it's tough to say things like Jay has before and say, yeah, emotionally, I'm kind of spent after watching Purdue, get their hearts ripped out by Virginia and say, I'm a changed man. I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then year after year, they keep pulling me back in. Well, this one will pull you back in, Boiler faithful. And I can tell you, if they do what I think they're going to do tomorrow, if they handle Duke, they're going to skyrocket up the polls, and they should be, especially if you look at the consistency of what Michigan State did by just winning one game a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Purdue should be any place between 13-9 after this weekend if they go 3-0. The work's not over. They're going to have still some things cut out for them, but the rest of the nation will have noticed Purdue is pretty damn good. The bad thing about this is that the thing that's been so great about this team is the chip on their shoulder and the fact that they are playing super hungry. I don't want to mess that up. And I sure as hell don't want to see Purdue have their peak in November, which is, if you remember it all, last year, completely different team. Purdue peaked in November last year. We didn't know it at the time, right? They got into the top ranking in the nation in December, but they peaked in November. That's not a good thing. If this team can do what Matt Painter's young teams do and just get better and better and methodically improve by January, that's always the goal for me for a Painter team that's kind of in this, revamping mode where guys are figuring out their role. But if they can get to that by January, I've said this before. We've seen Big Ten championships. I love them. They're great. I don't care about Big Ten championships. I want the team to peak, not in March, but in April. So let's look at the stats real quick. We'll talk about that. Of course, Zach Edey was the man. In about 31 minutes, he had 23 points, 3 blocks, 7 rebounds. Mason Gillis, again, right man, right time, all the time. Mason Gillis, he had 6 points. I think he was 2 for 5 from 3. It felt like it was a lot better than that. He had 7 rebounds. His threes were timely. They were when you need them, right? Gillis was there. He was your man. 2 assists as well for Gillis. Braden Smith. This is an okay game. I have a friend who texted me. He said, I'm not sure if I know what to think about Braden Smith. And I don't even understand it. I followed up. I said, you should think a lot. You should think positively about him because Painter doesn't start freshman at point guard. It's the second one he's done this to. First one was Lewis Jackson. And he's already starting Braden Smith right out of the box. And Braden Smith, all he did versus Gonzaga, 6th ranked team in America, scored 14 points. 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 turnover. That's a hell of a game. And his energy level was incredible, and it seemed like Gonzaga did not know what to do with the way he changed pace. They couldn't stay in front of him. That made a big difference. They had to draw down, collapse on him. Many times they drew down, and then Edey was wide open. Unexpectedly, it happened over and over where Edey was wide open. Fletcher Lawyer, as I talked about before, he's finding his stroke. He's starting to get comfortable. He's starting not to look much like a freshman. He did for a couple games. But he scores 14 points on 3 of 6 3-point shooting, 3 for 4 free throws. Purdue did well again from free throw line, not like last night, not an 85% from the free throw line, but 72%. I think anytime you can get above 70%, you're going to be in a pretty good position to win, especially Purdue. But one of the big things that Purdue did, and this shocked Jay Billis, just shocked him, is they were getting to the line with such regularity. Purdue shot 22 free throws. Gonzaga only shot 4. I'm sure that dumbass who came on and commented in the on the site, maybe he'll come by tonight and tell us how Purdue has the officials in their pocket. That person doesn't know anything about Purdue basketball and the history of what Purdue has done in regards to getting calls and not getting calls. It's pretty awesome, though. What's really happening is teams are just absolutely scrambling to figure out what to do to try to stop Edey. It's not just Edey, though. This is the really fun thing. Jay brought this up on a sidebar conversation. It's also First. It's also Trey Kaufman-Renn. Purdue's big men look really tough. And when Edey goes out of the game and takes a deep breath, one of those guys generally picks up the slack. In fact, Purdue had that 8-point lead. It shrunk down, I think, to actually the 8-point lead shrunk down to about 6 or 5 really quickly. Gonzaga is very good at scoring quickly. But then right away, Purdue's other bigs, their bag up First, plays with another level of energy. I said to my son, I said that one thing that's really interesting about this Purdue team. So First finishes with 10 points, 6 rebounds, no turnovers. Another good game. Morton, 8 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, no turnovers, 4 rebounds. These are really efficient games. These guys come in, they're just effective. They do things really well. Brandon Newman had 5 points, but really noteworthy. He had 6 rebounds. 5 of his rebounds came when Purdue was really struggling just to score. Go back if you watch the tape. You'll enjoy this one. Go back and watch it again. Watch what Brandon Newman was doing early in the game as Purdue couldn't find the rim. Brandon Newman was attacking the glass. And you don't think of that guy as being the guy who's going to carry you on the glass. But sure enough, there was Brandon Newman, the smoothest guy on the team, scratching and clawing for boards. He also dove into the crowd for a loose ball. And it's going to be a video we probably see a lot. Especially if Purdue wins this tournament, you'll see that video of him spilling the frat boy's beer all over his body, which was great. And Newman gets it all over him. He probably had never tasted beer before, so that's exciting. But anyway, Purdue wins, like I said, 84-66. Should have won by 20. They only won by 18. They improved to 5-0. Gonzaga falls to 4-2. This is a lot of fun, guys and girls. This is a lot of fun. And for me, like I said, this is about as good as it gets, as I know it. And I mean that because I love it when Purdue beats Gonzaga. Like I said, if they can beat Duke and Gonzaga in the same week, it'll be amazing. How about this scenario? And let's get back. We'll talk a little bit of football here a second before I talk. Thank you to everyone tuning in live. Goodness gracious. It's awesome. It's funny. Purdue wins even at 1:30 in the morning, even at 2 a.m. in the morning now. You guys are here. The enthusiasm is here when they win. That's a lot of fun. So I think this might be the most viewers we've ever had live, especially at 2 a.m. That's pretty darn awesome. Hopefully, Purdue can handle their business on the football field in Bloomington. Let's talk about that real quickly. So, in a very unusual twist, the Handsome Hour's favorite team, Nebraska, simply handled Iowa in Iowa City. Didn't make any sense from the jump. Nebraska had them. They tried to give away the game at the end, but they win. That pushes Iowa out of the way and allows Purdue to control their own destiny and possibly get to Indianapolis. And I know I've said it before. I don't think going to Indianapolis is the greatest thing for this football program simply because they're going to be playing Ohio State probably. I would much prefer playing Michigan, and who knows what will happen if they get a shot at Michigan. Who knows? But like I said, and like I will continue to say, getting a Western Division championship is noteworthy. It just is. It's not going to be around very much longer. You're going to have one more year where there's going to be divisions in football, and Purdue will get a chance to get an unusual trophy. It's a bragging chip. It's something you can put on your wall. It's something you can put on billboards, and it's real. It's not fabricated. It's a real thing. Being a champion at whatever is real, and so that scenario can happen. Here's the part that IU should be concerned about. IU should be concerned about the fact that Purdue has a couple weapons that they're going to have a hard time stopping. IU, from what I understand, and I haven't heard, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments here, but I believe Maccabee is going to be there. His dad hinted at it early in the week. I haven't heard an official thing. I haven't been tuned into the media stuff as much last few days just because it's been Thanksgiving weekend, but Purdue has Maccabee, and they also have AOC, and they also have Payne, and of course, Charlie Jones. IU's defense has struggled to stop offenses once they get into rhythm, and I think Purdue has a really good chance to get into rhythm versus IU in Bloomington simply because the weather's going to be nice, and these guys are going to be motivated to say, hey, there's something real to play for. I read also Jeff Brom actually has a bonus he'll get if Purdue becomes the West Division champs. He earns an extra $90,000 to $100,000, I believe. That's not bad. It's something. I mean, sure, to a guy who's making that much, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. But my whole point is, I think they're going to be dialed in. I feel it. Now, if you can stop IU's special teams, that might be the biggest wrinkle of the whole thing. And if I was going to worry about this game, people are saying worry about IU. Nope, Purdue needs to worry about Purdue. Plain and simple. Purdue has beaten itself all year when they've done it. Very few teams have just taken it to Purdue. There have been a couple. You can think of them, but they weren't built like IU. And that's the thing that's most promising to me. When Purdue loses games against teams that aren't traditional, like in the trench beast teams, they do it to themselves. So Purdue can come out focused, and even if they can't come out focused, they make a couple mistakes. If AOC can do what he's been known to do, which is play it cool, keep a cool head, wouldn't it be great to say Purdue is Big Ten West champs for 2022? That's pretty damn cool. And it'd be an amazing weekend for Purdue to go 3-0 and do that. It'd be one of the best weekends I can remember as a Purdue sports fan because you have both teams succeeding. I'm going to read over a few comments here. I'm just at 16 minutes right now. Appreciate, like I said, everybody being here. But let me do that. Let me get this. Okay. Oh, let's go. Todd Schleister, he's here. I love this team's heart. I do too, Todd. I love the heart. I love their attitude. I love the way they look. Handle Jones, this is a very, very good emergency handsome hour tomorrow if the bucket stays in West Lafayette. Damn right it should happen, Handle. I'm going to try to get to Bloomington. I'm kind of shaking things up a little bit on my own side, trying to figure out how to do that. Hope to see you there if I can get that. I don't know if you're going Handle, but it's a little closer for you than it is usually, so that's good. Hope you can be there. Chris Curtis says I'm going to bed, but flip over to Twitter to catch the post-game in the locker room celebration. Yeah, I look forward to doing that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I probably won't go to sleep for a while. I'm really wound up. I don't know if I sound sharper. I felt dull as a butter knife last night, and I always go back and review the show just as I'm posting it, and I sounded as bad as I thought I had spoken, so I apologize to all you guys who dealt with that. South Haven Boiler says, told my daughter when she was growing up that nothing good happened after midnight. I stand corrected. Very good. Yeah, I think everyone's mom has said that. Ben Carney says, shout out to Poppins Pub. It's my favorite watering hole in central Indiana. Great place, Poppins Pub. The owner of the place is a wonderful gentleman. Let's see. Brock Stepler says this is the rebuild year. They said, LOL. Yep, right on. Let's see. Nathan Anderson, love these guys. This is all good stuff. Everybody's feeling good. Feels like we're hanging out together. This is all happy stuff. I see. Anybody got any questions before I get out of here? Mr. Matt, DSM. Good guys beat Zaga. Number 1 UNC goes down. Big night in basketball. It's been a fun weekend for sports. If you like college sports, if you just like them and you're a casual observer, you're a casual watcher, this has been pretty fun. This has been a lot of neat stuff. North Carolina looks like they may not have been worthy of the number 1 ranking. Probably it's going to be Texas that takes that spot, I would think. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Texas has earned it. But yeah, this is a fun weekend, and it's not over yet. There's more upsets that can happen this weekend. So, Boilerman, excellent point. No sleep. Word, man. It's gonna be tough to wind down. I haven't had a taste of bourbon today, which is a bit sad, but maybe I should have done that before this just to kind of calm down, but I thought I'd bring the full octane to you guys. Let's see, anything else in here? Mr. Matt, DSM says, Dowd, we all know that friends don't let friends go to Bloomington. It's a good point, but yeah, I think I might need to go. I hear the seats have been cleaned off by rain. The goose poop is cleaned off, and it might be a good time to visit. I haven't been to Bloomington for a game in a while. Last time I was there, Purdue won. But time before that, I saw a Purdue loss there, which is lousy. I've seen a couple there in my life, but the weather's going to be nice. It's a tough one to turn down, so it's not far away. Anyway, it's been a pleasure talking to you, listening to what you guys. I mean, I could read these comments. Everybody's jacked. This is a lot of fun. Yeah, Ben Carnahan says the drinking game of the Handsome Hour. Mentioned Nebraska drink. Yeah, this week. If we can hopefully we can get that emergency handsome hour. This is always a good test. I like to not tell Jay and Anish about something that's said in a quick cast or a post game just to see if they're listening. And Jay's pretty good about it, by the way. I don't know about Anish. I don't know. I think he's good about it. But this is a good one to listen to because I was a little bit less varnished, a little less polished, more passionate, as you could see. So, John Younger says Houston will be number one. That's a good point. Houston's very good. That'd be pretty cool because that's a program that historically doesn't get that type of love. It's been, 40 years since they've been up number one? I think it's 40 years, so that'd be pretty cool. So, Mr. Matt says, thanks for the pod. Have a great night. You too. Have a great morning, and I will let that be the end of the victorious quick cast, post-game wrap-up, whatever you want to call it. Have a great morning. Have a great evening. Go celebrate a little bit. Just like Matt Painter says, we're a deep team, us Purdue fans. Have a great night. Celebrate, and then go get ready for Duke. We'll see you. Hammer down.